Strategy number 1 tells you whatever question you have, you are only giving 1 minute for that question. My second strategy, you are completely classifying the questions that can be attempted and the questions that you think you won't be able to solve. For those questions which are easy and attemptable, you can give more time as well. You have already decided which questions not to do. So the remaining time of those questions could be given to the attemptable question. Kani, our case lo kuda, your first factor, difficulty matters. Out of 45 questions, if you just feel 10 to 15 questions are doable, you cannot spare the remaining 30 questions time and you cannot give it to these 10 questions. It's gonna affect your entire score.
Hello students. Nenu my physics teacher ahat sir. And in video lo, we will be talking about your time management in the examination. Chuskondi. The biggest factor that decides your success, leda your selection chances, is how do you manage the time in your examination. And the most common problem is experienced by the state board students and especially IP board students. Endukante we have been trained in such a way that we have to write each and every step before doing any rough work. And when you are solving a question, me IP boards lo, the expectation is you write each and every single step. And somewhere, somehow, this is the biggest problem for the state board students. Kani, in your NEET examination, the things are 180-degree opposite. And you don't have to do anything with the steps. The only thing your NEET exam demands from you is the final answer. And even if you skip all the steps and you directly jump to the answer, that would be considered as the best thing. Idigo. Now the most common problem that the student faces is, sir, let us say this is one of the steps in doing your calculations. So what is our habit, sir? We are going to write each and every step. Kani, NEET does not demand all of you from your understandings. Idigo. So if at all you are expected or if at all you are willing to save your time in such situations, you must be extremely good at skipping the steps. Idigo. The first step, the first trick to manage the time in your examination is skipping the steps. And especially me physics and chemistry kosame, skipping the steps will be tremendously helpful for you to attempt the given amount of question in given amount of time. Idigo. So ఈ question is solve cheyadaniki you can directly write the answer of it to be 2x square 4x 6x 10x plus 4 plus 9 is 30. Idigo. And from this step to this step you are taking a single jump. But when you see the behavior of your state board students, they use a plus b formula whole square, a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square. Similarly, ekkada kuda a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square. And here everything goes down. Chuskondi. Then they come at this step. This is one of the examples I'm taking. Kani, in your problem solving, you understand meeku 45 questions untundi. Me question paper lo for your physics and for your chemistry as well. 45 nunchi, even if you say approximately around 60 to 70 questions, 60 to 70 questions demand skipping of the steps in your examination. Kabatti, to skip the steps, your calculation must be very strong. Me calculation weak unte, you cannot simplify the steps. Mari sir, what do you mean by calculation? Calculation ante your tables, multiplication, division, your rules, and similarly your basic maths keep the biggest hold. Chuskondi. In your examination hall, if someone asks you, sir, root 3 plus root 7 is equals to root 10. Leda, if this is the option, most of the students understand for now, ఇప్పటి కోసం you are able to understand that this is not a valid equation. కానీ in the pressure of your examination, there might be some instances at which you might take the same answer for this question. For example, ఇక్కడ చూడండి, your root of intensity net is equals to root of I1 plus root of I2. ఇదే, this is for your maxima and similarly it is for your minima. ఇదే కదా? Yes. This is a condition for your minima. కానీ when you have to do this calculation, most of the students, what they do is root of 7i plus root of 5i divided by root of 7i minus root of 5i. They simply do root of 7i plus 5i ante root of 12i divided by root of 7i minus 2i ante root of 2i. They cancel I and they tell the final answer is root 12 upon root 2. This is a calculation mistake. You call it to be the silly mistakes andariki. And even if your formulas are up to the point, మీ applications kuda, even if they are up to the mark, కానీ one silly mistake and your entire option will be wrong. And the funnier thing is, this option will be there in your examination. You're understanding? ఎందుకంటే the examiner knows where exactly the students are going to do the silly mistakes. కాబట్టి 99% of you who are taking this option would not even realize that they have committed a mistake. And their confidence level will be like, I have done the correct option only. So the first thing that you have to understand, మీ basic mathematics అందరికి, your basic mathematics must be very extraordinarily good. చూడండి, ఈ కోసం I don't know, I don't care what you're doing, కానీ the first thing that you will be doing, you strengthen your basic maths. If you are attempting physics without knowing basic maths, అంటే you are going into a war without a weapons. Try to understand. I'm telling you again and again, your basic maths and your calculations are your weapons in your examination. Without these weapons, you are entering into the war of physics and for sure you are going to lose. Kani sir, how to do the calculation strong? How to avoid these silly mistakes? We'll make one more video on that. Kani, I need your response for it. Andariki. So Andariki, you can comment down basic mathematics so that we will try to cover all basic mathematics in a single video. Andariki. And the second thing that you would be encountering is the pressure. A pressure low, sometimes you don't even know how much time you are dedicating for a single question. Andariki. And I'm really sure that it is also happening in your mock tests also. And when you are going for your mock tests, if it is in physical and offline mode, and then you will see the number of students, and then there should be only 1 minute kada, yes, approximately 1 minute per question for your subjects. This is the biggest thing, all of you. Ante ee oka nimishamlo you have to read the question, comprehend the question, understand the mechanism, use the formula, do the rough work, write, choose the correct option, and dan tarvata one more thing is bubbling. Idigo. So you cannot ignore this time of bubbling as well. It is also going to take at least 10 to 15 minutes of your total examination time. Approximately. It may be less also depending upon the students, but approximately range తీసుకున్నాను. So అందరికి ఈ ప్రెషర్లో, exam ప్రెషర్లో you only have 1 minute per question. So there is a strategy, all of you. Strategy number 1 tells you, whatever question you have, you are only giving 1 minute for that question. మీ second strategy లో you are completely classifying the questions that can be attempted and the questions that you think you won't be able to solve. For those questions which are easy and attemptable, you can give more time as well. Endukante you have already decided which questions not to do. So the remaining time of those questions could be given to the attemptable question. Kani aa case lo kuda your first factor difficulty matters. Endukante out of 45 questions, if you just feel 10 to 15 questions are doable, you cannot spare the remaining 30 questions time and you cannot give it to these 10 questions. Endukante it's gonna affect your entire score. So mari em cheyali sir? Your 3 things should be unimaginably strong ra. Me first point ante difficulty management. And the last video we have seen to do the difficulty management. Ee time lo, ee video lo, the second topic ante your time management. It should be done in a best way. And lastly, your pressure management. Other in the examination hall where you will be sitting, there will be the students all over your places, all over your city, all over your district. So a place lo students ni choose, your confidence is 100% going to go down. Mark my words, 100%. Mari how to keep that confidence on a level? Okkasari your confidence has gone down ante you will feel sweat. Your hands will shiver and instead of thinking also you will not be able to do anything. You understanding? It's a perfect game of your time management, confidence management and difficulty management. Other. So if you are good at all these 3 things, for sure your score is going to be increasing. Other. So in time management kosame, the first thing that you will be doing is work on your calculations. If you are having free time, take some maths problem from your 8th class, 9th class and 10th class and start doing them randomly. Endukante the entire 10th class mathematics is there for you. So when you are attempting the question, the mathematics ante your quadratic equations is required. Your ratio and proportion is required. Class 9th chapter. You understanding? And at the same time, your straight lines are required. To identify the equation, sir, it is directly proportional, leda it is inversely proportional, something like that. So you need equations as well. So meku triangles kuda, you also need the idea about the geometry, about calculus, about your algebra. If your calculation is good, which is significantly very good for JEE students. So JEE students, they do not keep doing all the rough work one by one, step by step. Point number 1, you have to work on your calculation speed. Ante skipping the steps. Ade only thing is skipping the steps. Point number 2, you have to avoid your silly mistakes. And point number 3, okkasari the paper has been appeared in front of you, you have to manage which questions to attempt first and which questions to attempt in the end. That everything will be told just before your examinations. Kani ippadi kosam I want all of you to work at least on these 2 things. Your steps skipping, your calculation speed and your silly mistakes. If the students are ignoring this topic, you mark my words, okay? This is going to be the biggest blunder in the examination hall. ఒక క్వశ్చన్లో సిలీ మిస్టేక్ చేస్తే your +4 is going to convert into -1 అందరికి. That means you are having a loss of 5 marks, not 4 marks, 5 marks. So you cannot afford a silly mistake. One silly mistake is going to cost you for 5 marks. Ante your rank is going to slide by tens of thousands only due to a single mistake. You understanding? So each and every question in the examination keeps a great significance. So chala serious ga teeskondi and prepare accordingly. I do have some strategies to include leda to boost your basic mathematics and calculation speed. Meeku kavalante comment in the video and we will see about the strategies to increase the speed. Thank you so much all of you.